Welcome to the Wrap-Up, a VR live stream focused on keeping you up to date with the adoption of universal profiles and growth of the new creative economy. Join us as we uncover the fusion of technology, artistry, and innovation that's redefining how we create, share, and experience in this digital age. It's time to wrap it up. Welcome back to the Wrap-Up. Today is May 17th, year's 2024. Before we dive into today's topics, take a moment to click that like button, follow if you please, and or subscribe if you haven't already. It helps a ton and ensures you don't miss any of our upcoming episodes. Remember, what you hear in this podcast is just our opinion and not professional financial advice. We're not experts. If you need specific advice, please ask someone who's a professional in that area. Listen at your own risk and always double check before making decisions based upon what we talk about. Alts, what's going on?
Not much, buddy. How's your Friday going?
It's going.
Well, you might be asking why I'm highlighting my bowler cut.
I was thinking it. I wasn't going to ask it.
Well, I got a trim. I got a trim yesterday, so I just wanted to kind of show it off. I'm feeling fresh today. You know, a lot of people know me by this bowler cut, so just wanted to give it some love today.
All right. Well, I see the bowler cut and the sword in the background. I got. Wasn't there a little bit of leakage of news that we might be getting the assets migrated from the one Teflon Sega?
Yes, indeedy. I did see that tweet from Fabian saying that Teflon is in the process of migrating those NFTs to mainnet. I'm ready for it. I'm here for it, my friend.
I think we're all here for it. Those are pretty cool assets across the board. I know you've got your Kiss Kill Cry shades you put on from time to time. Love the sword, though. Sword's one of my favorite. I said that would be the sword I would rock in any cross-platform game. Just whip that thing out.
Yes. Any opportunity to rock that in the metaverse would be all about that. Yes.
Sign me up. All right. With the lead in today, this meme makes me laugh. This is from our friend Krexx, story of my life. I'm still more convinced that we will reach these. I am still more than convinced that we will reach these numbers. This one kills me. How many people do you think are in the same position right now? Hey, honey, how's that LUKSO coin doing? It'll be $1,000 in 2024. You've got the obviously the angry Wojak crying there, which just makes me laugh so hard. That pink mohawk, or is that a mohawk? I can't quite tell.
Yeah, sure.
Fluffy, spiky haircut,
kind of like a mega faux hawk.
All right, honest question. Is Krexx the meme master? Does he sit on the throne and everyone else has to try to dethrone him at this point?
I mean, honestly, there's been ample, I would say, examples of just that. Yeah, we're all just fighting for second place now at this point. It's Krexx. You are the legend, my friend.
I don't know if any of you played in the neighborhood as kids. You played like King of the Mountain or something. There'd be like a dirt pile and people
King of the Hill.
To the top. King of the Hill, yeah. And you just like,
yeah.
That was the only time you were like allowed to Spartan kick your best friend. It was all in good fun. But that's what I imagine Krexx doing, just booting people from the top when they try to come up and take it.
This is Krexx's Hill.
Yeah.
But yeah, keep them coming, fam. We absolutely love them.
Yeah, for sure. All right, we got a lot going on today, and then we're going to take it to a community space at the end, the Wrap-Up Spaces edition, with a guest co-host today, just so you know what you're getting into later on. Hopefully you all stick around, and that is Selby from Sigmatic in the LUKSO-verse and the Staking-verse and the Sigma Swap Bridge. So this should be interesting. Hopefully we have some good conversation. Selby wrote a cool article.
Yeah, looking forward to it. It's been too long.
Too long. All right. So getting into the actual news, if you looked at the thumbnail for this show, it said Artisan Ally or Artisan Ally. I never know how to pronounce that really, but I believe John, who is the developer behind that, lead of Luksta Builder, says Artisan Ally, but I read it as Artisan Ally. Regardless, I'm an ally for that project, and it just dropped, right? So okay, basic functionalities are ready. I'll develop it one more day and deploy it on Wednesday, which Luksta did. And it was the hard deadline to force themselves to deliver. This is actually really cool, Alts. I ended up making a fellowship for KEEZ. I'm sorry, for New Standards, the podcast where we focus on talking to builders in this space, trying to really highlight and help market the cool stuff that is being built on LUKSO. There's been a lot of questions about Artisan Ally, A lot of people are trying to figure out what this is. If you've gone to the site and you're like, I can't even log in, I don't know what's going on, don't worry about it. We're in this 1 week kind of cool off period right now where only Apex deity holders can access the site. Apex deities are kind of, they are the cubist collectibles that were issued by the Luksta builders roughly a month ago. And if you've been holding it, you've been farming holy shit tokens in advance of this drop. What you got to know about Artisan Ally is it's the beginning of capital formation here on LUKSO. It's allowing, we've had artists sell non-fungible tokens, really collectible art to try to raise money for their ventures or to earn money as artists. We've seen meme coin communities spring up around the offering of just purely meme coins. This one here, Artisan Ally says that we can actually help you raise money over a cup of coffee, right? Maybe even quicker than a cup of coffee. So this one here, you have, because of the social identity of the social nature of the chain, each Apex deity is able to open up a fellowship by sponsoring some type of creator or project. It then becomes bound to that project. So I have opened one for New Standards. You can see that Ethelorian founded this partnership with the New Standards podcast. It's very obvious it's here on the interface. And then you have the option to either support or not. You don't have to, but if you choose to support, there's some interesting gamification along the way that we're all going to have to uncover here. And it becomes incumbent upon the gods who opened the fellowship and then the fellowship itself to drive value back to the backer buck holders there. Again, I already said too much because I said backer bucks and heads are probably just know that this is a real cool way for capital to come together to fund cool ideas
Yeah, it
that
is.
you might vibe with. Right?
Yeah.
On?
We're going streaky!
Indeed. Yeah, it's such a, first of all, shout out to Team Luksta, for even putting a hard deadline out there in this day and age. Like, I mean, in this space in general, right? Like deadline, schmedline, nobody really trusts those anyway. So yeah, well done, just kind of pushing through and getting this amazing, product out. And it, like I said, it's multi-layered, so it can seem a bit daunting and complicated, but the mechanics are super interesting, and it's going to open up a lot of really cool development in this ecosystem. Yeah, so I mean, I'm really happy to see it go live, and I did snag a New Standards backer buck. Of course, got to support the team, and yeah, I am so looking forward to just the ability for the community to raise funding and help support the builders that they want to see build in this space. I think that's wonderful.
Yeah, if this one seems a little abstract to you, don't worry about it. This is just the first entrance, and it's really meant um, to be used in a fluid way, right? Like it could be used in the friend text style where alpha chats are opened with influencers in the space or people who are connected. It could be to fund your favorite development team. You could open it. I'm giving ideas for god holders, but you could, ping a team like Year One, development house behind Universal Grave, and say, hey, I'd love to open a fellowship for you. Maybe we can form some capital around your development team so you guys can go off and build new things or bring ideas to the Universal Grave. Very, very flexible. There's lots of things you can do here. There's lots of value that's going to go back to the holders of the backer bucks. And it's really only limited by the imagination of the fellowships. If
Yeah.
this is like, I don't really understand right now, well, keep an eye on it, because oftentimes it's the things that you don't understand are the things that sneak up on you, right?
Yeah,
And this is
exactly.
just the beginning. After Artisan Alley, there's going to become Luksta, which is a more traditional crowdfunding model, and then Fund Up, which is in the eyes of the Luksta builders, which is like grant funding on LUKSO. So all of these projects are tied together. This is a builder group that is very focused on delivering and believe that LUKSO is the place to do this. They are not quiet about that. So congratulations to Jean and the Luksta builders.
Well, so I will go ahead and say it is Artisan Ally because it is ALLY. If it was
Ally.
Ally, it would be ALLEY. But I actually read it as both simultaneously. I picture my allies in an alley supporting me. So I think you're onto something.
Well, yeah, if you're in an alley, a dark alley, I would love to have the power of Zeus, right? And throwing lightning bolts, some other powerful gods there. So I'll go with
Bring
that
Ra
one.
in there with you. You're good to go. Yeah.
Sun God. Oh God, yeah. So keep an eye on this. There's going to be there'll be a lot of I think as this opens up to the public, a lot of neat indoor opportunities to get involved, and then pay attention to the gamification behind holding gods and participating. It'd be in your best interest to understand this.
Yeah, maybe I should make one for Krexx, like an OnlyFabs, and then he can just put out memes.
Oh, hey, that's a great
And then you
idea.
could like maybe purchase the memes on chain or something. I don't know. It could be fun.
Hey, love it. I love that. That's a cool idea and didn't even think of that. But you already see, I've seen some tweets going around where some of the god holders are already like, hey, hit me up if you have an idea.
I have a couple of collaborations in mind that I just haven't reached out to them yet. I'm kind of waiting for the right moment. But yeah, this would be such a cool opportunity to bring some people into the LUKSO ecosystem that aren't currently here.
Yeah, if you're familiar with Nouns DAO, I realized I was like, I'm going to stop talking about this. No, let me mention one more thing. If you're familiar with Nouns DAO, there is a fellowship that was just opened by the Luksta builders called Cubeless DAO. The NFTs or the god NFTs. The cubist art pieces are operate like nouns, and you will be able to govern how the treasury invests its money going forward. It's kind of an interesting model, but it's all done again through Artisan Ally, allies in an alley. Yes.
Perfect.
Okay. All right, moving on. Generation Infinity just continues to deliver the goods. There's a wonderful partnership alts between LUKSO and Generation Infinity. Here they go over the roadmap. What I like about this is Generation Infinity is cross-platform. It gets out there across multiple ecosystems. It's already gotten Fabian on a number of panels in front of different eyes. This seems to be working out in our favor. Whoever brought this partnership to house, great job, honestly.
Yeah, kudos to that. I've loved to see the continued push, for the LUKSO, and I do like that it is cross-chain. So there's other sectors that are getting some, LUKSO alpha drip on their timelines, which is great. And yeah, and of course those spaces, like I would love to see another one with Tim Draper or somebody that caliber, and maybe some overlap. Being able to chat with Fabian would be excellent. But yeah, I'd love to see this continued push.
Yeah. And the fact that here they're covering the roadmap, there's a lot of bullish stuff in that roadmap. I've sent out a couple tweets just highlighting specifically what they said about universal everything. Come on, man, like deliver on that. And we're all going to be very, very happy campers. So the fact that this is being written up and sent out to more eyes is just good for the ecosystem. Like I said, congratulations on whoever brought this home to Bruce. This seems like a really beneficial partnership early on.
Yeah. Well, speaking of ROADs, there's another one here. We got a little update from Universal Profiles, what they've been working on. Quite an extensive list here, ETH.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So we were used to seeing these kind of developer updates in Discord. Now we're getting these through the ERC725 account. So they tell you, again, just some quick updates. Browser extension front, they released a new beta version. So they upgraded the beta, made some new fixes. That's fantastic. Enabled the execution of transactions via the up instead of through the key manager, LSP20. Why is that interesting? Well, interesting. It enables simplified interactions, dynamic verification, permission handling, flexibility and security, usability and enhancement. We could go on with lots of buzzwords, but really by employing LSP20 within the context of the universal profile and integrating it with the key manager that is in your universal profile, LSP6, you're effectively optimizing the process of managing permissions and interactions within decentralized applications, fostering a more user-friendly and secure environment. Wow, I wrote that down and did not stumble over it this morning. Do you like that?
Who hasn't heard about that? You're late to the party.
Yeah, that was great. That was a great little rundown. I mean, just when I see, it's very technical stuff, right? But it's just continued updates and growth to the product. And yeah, I just feel like we're heading in a direction now where there's no stopping us.
For sure. Make sure your browser extension is updated. Check your version, go to the settings and confirm that you are on 3.0.0 beta.28. If you're not updated, try restarting your browser. Chrome will automatically update the extension. They're pushing out fixes all the time, so it behooves you to pay attention to these updates and make sure that you're taking advantage of them.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we got another one here that says they've redesigned the cards for collectibles. So they're working on improving performance through the integration with the new GraphQL indexer. So I think things are going to just be getting easier and simpler to interact with.
You jumped us, but that's okay.
Oh, I did.
It's
Did I
all-
hop over?
yeah, it's all good though. The
I was just feeling bullish about that one.
it's all good. This is just going to make things faster, right? That's what you need to know about this integration with the new GraphQL indexer. It's going to make the functionality of your wallet and your universal profile a little bit quicker in a decentralized way. That's important to know. Going back one, alts, you pain in the ass.
Let's do it. Let's do it. We'll call it
They
the
added more
two-step.
features in the ERC725.js library to return dynamic name and dynamic key parts with the get schema function. You're like, I don't even care. Well, you know what? If you're a developer, you do care about this stuff because you actually go to ERC725 inspect.luxo.tech to check things out. This is actually a very key development tool that people use as they troubleshoot development on their applications. So again, really cool. This is if you are a developer and you are building on LUKSO, you definitely want to pay attention to the ERC725 account. That's important. If you run across a developer in the wild, right? They're KGBs, but if you see one, you refer them to the ERC725 account.
You know where to send them now. There you go.
Yeah. All right. Moving on. All right. We could read this line by line, but you see on the network front, they're continuously making updates, even adding Nethermind.eth or Nethermind ETH support from a client perspective. This one's really cool. Working on a Consensus Explorer upgrade. I think everyone would like that. And then where we haven't actually gone to Denkun, they're working on a BlobScan integration for the Denkun hard fork when they eventually decide to make that move, should they decide to make that move. So all cool stuff on the network front there.
Yeah. Things shaping up nicely, getting ready for blobs if we want them.
If we want them. And there's some discussion on that, right? Because I mean, without getting deep in the weeds, if you have seen any of the posts going back and forth between some of the Ethereum OG community members, and even Peter Szilagyi actually had a post about this. It seems to be some chatter about maybe that the blobs are pushing more people to exploit really MEV, and it's making the chain a little bit more centralized than it needs to be. So we want to keep an eye on that, right?
Yeah, I mean, when you see chatter from the Ethereum OGs, just kind of feeling frustrated with how just complicated things are getting, it makes you feel good about the path that LUKSO took, because we're kind of on a different trajectory, a unified front, where we can all just push with the same tools and direction. It's going to be quite refreshing once we pick up some momentum.
Yep. If you're like, ETH, you said nothing. You skipped across the surface of that topic like a stone. Know that I did that on purpose, because we in 40 minutes have to skip across multiple topics without going down. And you get to get the satisfying skip. I don't know like how many of you skip rocks, but you want the one that like skips like 10 times, like
10's that's a good amount of skips.
Yeah, it's a good number. You don't want, comes down in the angle and just buries, right?
That's what you don't want. Yeah, that's like golfing and you can't even get past the ladies' tees. Just like
ladies' tees. All right. Ladies are good golfers. Honestly, pro lady golfer is so much better than I am. I mean, even remove pro,
yeah.
right? Like I mean, yeah, I don't need to go much further. I'm a terrible golfer. Okay. So anyway, kickstarting general ecosystem news. On the developer relations front, Bianca Busia, who actually she heads DevRel University, which is actually really cool, right? She works to make other DevRels better. She dropped this short video about 8 minutes long to introduce developers who might be interested in working on LUKSO to a number of the things that they've got cooking over there on the technical team, running through gasless transactions to the different pathways you could take if you're an app developer versus a smart contract engineer, some of the upgrades like we said to the inspector tooling that exists there. Honestly, it's a cool little 8-minute video. Even if you're non-technical, you're going to get a lot out of it. You might just answer some general curiosities you have with what they're doing. And it also satisfies all the people who say, "When marketing," like they actually are. They're marketing to the people who really need to build the products right now, so then the products can market to the users, right? If you're the
Yeah, for
user
sure.
saying, "When marketing," well, what are we marketing?
That's one thing that LUKSO's always been good at, is having really solid documentation, and these video clips just continue to kind of add to that wealth, that library, of data that a builder would need to be able to kind of really truly understand this stuff. And she speaks the language, on the dev side of things. So it's great to see. Yeah.
Yeah, speaks that language because languages are scary.
See.
I don't know why I said that. I got super distracted. I started like looking at a DM someone sent me, and then the next thing I know, I'm just spouting absolute.
Now you're
bull.
off the rails. You're off
All
the
right, I'll
rails.
take the next one because I'm way off
Yeah,
the rails.
yeah. Now let's do it. Let's talk about grants. So the applications for that first wave, which is going to be, I think, $1 million for the first wave, right? Is going to be those grants. The program is open until June 16th. So if you want to apply, you can do that through about another month. So they're going to be supporting innovative dApps and projects across social, creative, and cultural spheres. So yes, do not miss the chance to snag some funding for your project out there, fam. This is a great opportunity.
Actually, really excited to see who's going to come in this first wave because there's been a lot of ideas floating. There's been probably a lot of people who are interested in building things, but said, "Where am I going to get the funding to do this?" Because
Yeah.
believe it or not, people have to eat and put roofs over their head. This one here is going to provide the opportunity for developers who are interested in building in the ecosystem to actually pay themselves while they build, right? Because that's important. Sometimes it takes time. Well, it always takes time to
Yeah.
cook something good, right? You know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, it kind of raises the ceiling on what's possible. Of course, like through the hackathons, like you get some really cool, interesting stuff, but it's such a truncated timetable, and they're just doing it out of pocket on the front end, right? But imagine getting some funding on the front end, and then you can expand and have a much grander vision. Which I think we're going to see some really interesting things with LSPs that we haven't quite seen yet. Come out of that, which is what that's going to be great.
Yeah, and to revisit the idea behind this grant program, it's going to be benchmark driven. The foundation is not just handing out money so people can run away with it. It's going to be
Right.
it's an application process where there are going to be interviews involved. People are going to have to fit kind of a general alignment with the core values and desires of the ecosystem, like where it wants to go in order to build their project. Just not everything's going to get funded, and then it'll come out via benchmark. So yes, I met this goal. Boom, you'll get a tranche released to you, and then meet the next goal, another tranche released to you. So for people who are unsure of how this grant program is going to work, if you missed the initial Twitter space that they did, or you haven't read through the documentation, this is absolutely going to have some governors on it. So don't worry about Lux just being thrown out to the wind. And what I'm really looking forward to, Alts, is are there going to be community members in far-flung destinations, especially around hotbeds of innovation, that are going to come up and grab some grant funding to spread the LUKSO gospel? Like we mentioned in a previous wrap-up, the blockchain community in Turkey, very, very vibrant, obviously. And they had a community meetup, posted that bad boy out there on the interwebs. We know that earlier in the year, some of the tech team was over at Oxford in London discussing blockchain, yes, but LUKSO definitely. Like, can we get more of these types of meetups in far-flung locales talking LUKSO? That'll be
Yeah, I
cool.
hope so. Let's get them around the globe.
Right. That's grantable. That's what Louis said. Those are grantable activities.
Love that. I love that.
So, cool.
Well, talking about marketing a bit more. So we did a little collaboration partnership here with Safe. So basically global.safe. So yeah, right here we got Hugo Maslett from the LUKSO team. Is going to be doing a workshop room to learn about from key management to custom metadata and relayed calls. So stay safe and build on. I love that. But this is going to be a really cool workshop where Hugo can tell them about what LUKSO is doing in this ecosystem to make things safer.
Yeah, if we're talking smart contract accounts or smart accounts, this event from Gnosis is really probably the place to be if you're in Berlin. So not only is Hugo talking, but Jean Cavaliera, the Mad Chef himself, the smart contract lead, is also going to be giving a talk at SafeCon doing an in-depth view into universal profiles and their capabilities. And John is also going to take some time to do some like live coding again, do some example boilerplate developing to give more people insight into what they can build, how to build it, and really kind of maybe break this invisible barrier that people have. You know, when you try to start anything new, you're like, it's new, I don't like it.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Sometimes you try something new and you love it, right?
Yeah.
I think back
Oftentimes.
to the restaurant that we went into in Istanbul, Alt, where I looked at the food. Should I be eating this today? And then I actually enjoyed it.
Yeah. I too was a little scared of that one. It just, yeah, it didn't, I don't know, not like a place I'd ever been in before, you know, and then I just went with my gut, what looked interesting. I think I even asked the guy that worked there, I was like, which one? Because I didn't even know it was in it and I couldn't figure it out, but I was like, you know what? I'm just going to roll with it. And it was amazing. Couldn't believe it. It was so good.
Yeah, I can't say I've ever been a big fan of just random yogurts and other things that I can't tell what they are, but hey, I mean, delicious.
Mine was like ended up being like a meat and potato kind of lasagna thing. And it was so good.
All right. Well, hey, if you find yourself in Berlin, why don't you head on out to the party that they're having, the Blockhaus Afterparty, teaming up with Google Cloud, Shifi.org, and Guild for an unforgettable event during Berlin Blockchain Week is our friends at LUKSO. Don't miss it. May 24th, 8 p.m. CET until late. And I'm guessing late means pretty late.
Yeah, probably early, technically.
Technically early.
But
RSVP
yeah, I mean,
required, though.
the Blockhaus party, I love this. They're you know, East Berlin, they're coming to our background. They're coming to our backyard, you know. So LUKSO fam's gonna get to show them what's up with Berlin.
Mhm. All right, Troy was actually on the road touching some grass. So after all the cool metrics we had last week, this week we only have one metric, and we actually grabbed it from a tweet from Sandro, who said 18,000 universal profiles, aka universal identities created since January. So we've crossed that threshold, 18,000. Alts, 18,000 is going to turn into 20, is going to turn into 50, is going to turn into insert large number that I could be hyperbolic with here.
1 million universal profiles.
All we need is one application that drags
Yeah.
people in. That's all. We are one killer D app away. That's it.
Yeah. What it's like we're like Troy right now. We're camping and we're just starting the fire, the sparks, and then at some point it's just gonna go it's gonna be a brush fire, and we're just gonna sit there and watch Web3 burn
Hey,
with pink flames.
pink flames. Yeah. Hey, maybe it'll be an existing Ethereum ecosystem that just needs new life because it's kind of floundering out there on a place where the fees are so high and they want to take advantage of identity. Alts, do you know any project that might have enabled something like this?
Let me ponder for a moment. Yes, I do. There's something called the Quantum Protocol. That is a portal opening up the blockchain connection between Ethereum and LUKSO. So what it's going to allow is any NFT collection to migrate from Ethereum over to LUKSO. And the first one to do that, to give this thing a try, is the MetaHeads. We took our Genesis, opened up the portal, and we're moving them from Ethereum over to LUKSO, you know, to get that extra utility and to start, you know, building around identity and reputation and stuff. So yeah, super exciting. Shout out Arliano for making this amazing, you know, bridge and protocol. So we're going to use this time to kind of polish things up and get a public version, you know, really cleaned up that we can release. That way, anyone else who has an NFT collection they want to move from Ethereum to LUKSO can do that.
Take your existing 721 contract and that NFT 1.0 and send it through the quantum portal and have it emerge on the other side as an NFT 2.0, where really the possibilities are endless, my friends.
Yes, make your collection upgradable and sustainable well into the future.
Yeah, breathe life into your community. Make your community more than just a bunch of people sitting around saying we're a community. Do something with it.
Allow them to get active. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. All right. We're getting into more of the topics for our space today. So after many long months of uncertainty, fear, doubt, people saying that we are all becoming liquidated, Liquid has reopened as of 10 a.m. Eastern on May 16th. Liquid has opened and has allowed people to see that, yes, they have been accruing rewards through the entire period, that if you want to unstake, you can now do so. And Liquid has let us know that the acquisition that was in place where they were going to be taken over, they are now not doing that. So interesting. Don't know what's going to come of this. What I do know is all the tokens are unlocked, my friends. Everyone can do what they want with their tokens. We're seeing actually tokens start to move. If you're interested about where these tokens might be going, because we're making no value judgments here, we're not going to tell you where to put them. Go to transactions.app. Okay. And you can actually see, this is a post from transactions.app today. In this thread, you can, because it's a social blockchain, transactions.app will actually show you these contracts in a human readable way and what people are doing. Some people are unstaking and moving to other staking services. Some people are restaking their rewards. Some people are withdrawing their rewards and spending them on collectible art. Some people are doing all kinds of things. Some people are doing some things.
Some people are doing nothing, like myself. I've just been chilling.
Right, but if you want to pay attention to what is actually happening, I mean, I don't want to sugarcoat what's going on here. We're getting to a period of a lot of uncertainty where people are actually probably finding some relief. There was real sentiment in the community that people are going to take a haircut, lose their tokens, honestly lose real money that maybe they needed, that they thought was safe. All of that uncertainty, we can now sweep it to the side. You can make your own decision with what you want to do with your tokens now that have been locked up in Liquid for this amount of time. And that is great because it removes that fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Put it in a place that's safe for you. Home stake it, move it to another staking platform. Don't stake it at all. Put it on a ledger. You do you and live with your decisions.
I like that. I like that. I mean, that's, yeah, we can all kind of breathe a sigh of relief because we were just, nobody knew for sure how it was going to play out. But now we know, okay, all the coins are there. It's all taken care of. You can do what you want with your coins now. You got options. Everybody's good. We'll see how it plays out, with the platform moving forward. But yeah, that's something we can put behind us now.
Absolutely. Transactions.app, a social block explorer. Again, if maybe you're stumbling upon us for the first time today, you're used to going Etherscan and being like, what's on Etherscan? Let me go to the block explorer to try to figure out what's happening. Well, on LUKSO, you could go to the block scout if you want, or go to transactions.app and you're going to get a totally different experience where you'll actually, if Ethelorian makes a transaction, see my pretty little bearded face and it'll tell you exactly what I'm doing. If that scares you away, then maybe you shouldn't be doing those types of transactions.
Yeah, there you go.
Or be anonymous, because you can choose to do that. You can actually have multiple identities on this blockchain. I have the Ethelorian account, and I also have another account, which I will never tell you what it is. I'm just fooling. I don't really care that much. I do everything under Ethelorian. But other people, you might want to have a bifurcated privacy, like bifurcated wallet, so you can maintain some measure of privacy for your financial activities. Right now, there's not a lot of financial activities that we can do. Actually, that's actually a really good segue into something. When I stake, I actually stake because I started with Liquid before Universal Profiles launched. I actually have staked through an EOA, right? Like I have the tokens. I use my ledger as my signing key, right? So yeah, actually I do things under two identities on this network. One anonymous identity and one in the bearded, lovely face of the sky.
Well, yeah, I prefer the bearded one. It's beautiful. I like to see that weirdo showing up on the timeline.
Yes, the weirdo. And you can see it on transactions.app. All right. Well, hey, if you enjoyed this video, everyone, don't forget to hit that like button. We are constantly iterating and try to figure out how to actually create valuable content for you. This is a shorter version of the wrap up that we originally started with. Here, we kind of streamline it, try to get right to the point, try to skip across topics instead of get deep into anything. If you want more technical speak, you're probably not going to get it here. We just don't have time for it. And at the same time, from a technical perspective, I get better every day, but I'm not that good yet. So, yeah, that's just what it is, just so you know. And I already lost what I was going to say. Oh,
Well,
yeah, go ahead.
well, I don't want to jump in front of your
My brain
circle
got
of thoughts there, but no, as you say, as long as you're better than the Aethelorian of yesterday, you're doing good.
Yeah, true. Okay, bingo. 1% better every day, friends. So if you like this video, don't forget to hit that like button. Follow the KEEZ account. That's where you'll see these videos. If you're on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. If you want to see more content like this, make sure you turn your notifications on so you never miss an update. Thank you all for the support.
Indeed, indeed. Before we head out, Eth, I got a couple of questions for you. Just kind of curious your thoughts on these.
I was waiting for it, man.
Oh, I was just making sure you were ready.
Hey, I was giving you the frozen face. I was like, you can't see my face, so I was pretending.
Well, so did you hear about that kidnapping at school?
Oh, Jesus. Okay. No. What?
Oh, it's fine. He woke up.
All right, hold on. Right here, my favorite emoji. Facepalm.
I could even hear the sound effect of that one. Of your control hitting your face. That was great. All right, so I got another one. So why did the man fall down the well?
He's thirsty.
Because he couldn't see that well. I was scraping the bottom of the barrel today, but that one, oh God, that one just made me laugh so stupid. I don't know.
I mean,
why.
the one that I can't ever forget, that I have to live through constantly in my quiet moments, is when you told me I could always punch an orphan. That's the one that I'll just never forget.
Well, like when a dad joke actually becomes a dad joke. Do you know when? When it becomes apparent.
Oh my God. All right. On that note, I'll be firing up the Twitter space shortly. We'll start up about 12:45, which gives everyone a little bit more time to transition, because I can't do the like get out of VR, throw things around my desk thing like a maniac like I've been doing. We're going to take a couple minutes to transition. You can use the bathroom, and then we'll light up this Twitter space. If you're sticking around for the Twitter space, please feel free, come up, chat it up with us, have a conversation.
Yes,
if you're just listening to us, you're going to hear more nonsense. So make sure you share your valuable opinions.
Yes, please come join us on the Twitter space and share some thoughts and insight. I will apologize for the terrible dad jokes today. That's on me, fam. I'll do better next week. But we appreciate you all taking the time to watch us, whether it's live or on your own time. We vibe with you, LUKSO fam, and the rest. So yes, do me a favor, enjoy your Friday, have a splendid weekend, and do what you do best. Stay pink.